Hey all you lot, and welcome to another episode of News You Might Have Missed. I'm your host Tom Lord, and on this show we look at a mighty mix of eclectic excerpts ranging from news outlets, blogs and tabloid rags based around the globe. On today's show we've got Philadelphia has introduced a 24-hour cheese vending machine, a Belgian man whose body can produce its own alcohol has been acquitted of drunk driving, and the 9-year-old self-proclaimed seagull boy wins the European Screeching Championship. But first, a $10,000 robot flamethrower dog has gone on sale in America. According to Ars Technica, Terminator, the first flamethrower-wielding robot dog, is apparently completely legal in 48 US states. Jesus Christ. Terminator, the quadruped robot, can be fueled by gasoline or napalm, and it features a 1-hour battery, a 30-foot flame-throwing range, and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity for app-based remote control. It also includes a LiDAR sensor for mapping and obstacle avoidance, laser sighting, and first-person view navigation through an onboard camera. The company lists possible application of the new robot as wildfire control and prevention, agricultural management, ecological conservation, snow and ice removal, and entertainment and special effects. But most of all, it sets things on fire in a variety of real-world scenarios. I think this is peak freedom in the US. And although it's not particularly suitable for Christmas due to a tendency to incinerate your children, all those cool features sure does make it a hot dog. Philadelphia has introduced a 24-hour cheese vending machine. According to Ars Technica, night owls, third shift workers, and even plain old procrastinators have cause to celebrate this month, as Philadelphia has a new 24-hour cheese vending machine housed in a bright red booth outside Perrystead Dairy. The cheese dispensary was installed and stocked earlier this month, but it flew under the radar for the first couple of weeks of operation. That all changed, however, last Friday, when chef Michael Solomonov tipped off the wider public on Instagram. Perry, the owner, said Solomonov's stuff took off, and then a bunch of people posted stories about it, and apparently the machine logged a transaction as late as 1 o'clock over the weekend. To be fair, it does look sick. Pregnant mothers and fatties like me salute Perry, who put vending machines and cheese together. It's like flake and ice cream, or tea and biscuits, or Hitler and a small revolver to his own head. It just works, baby. Teenagers who allegedly stole cars in Australia face 2 extra years just for bragging about it. According to Gizmodo, a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old are the first to be charged under a new post and boast law in Australia. This is after 3 teens who allegedly stole high-end cars in Australia last week have been charged with stealing stuff. But according to a new report from the Sydney Morning Herald, 2 of the teens are also being charged under a new law that criminalises posting about your crimes on X, TikTok and YouTube. Lawmakers in Australia argued that people who post photos or videos of their crimes were re-traumatising their victims, which warrants a stronger punishment. And New South Wales Attorney General Michael Daly said, "This behaviour is unacceptable and has to stop. People have the right to sleep safe in their beds, in the sanctity of their home, and should not have to face being re-traumatised, ridiculed, and shamed with images of crime being made into some warped kind of entertainment." Surely the first rule of Theft Club is don't talk about Theft Club. Although when John Taylor stole that Freddo from the tuck shop at 9 years old, he did tell me about it. I think he's now in prison. Not for the Freddo, obviously. I think it was a general stabbing. A Belgian man whose body can produce its own alcohol has been acquitted of drunk driving. According to CNN, a Belgian man was acquitted of drunk driving on Monday because he suffers from auto-brewery syndrome, a rare condition where the body produces alcohol. And Ants Gesquire told Reuters that, in another unfortunate coincidence, her client also works at a brewery, but 3 doctors who independently examined him confirmed he suffered from ABS. I thought ABS was anti-lock brakes. Lisa Florin, a clinical biologist with a Belgian hospital, explained that people with this condition produce the same type of alcohol as the one in alcoholic drinks, but that they generally feel less of its effects. She added that people are not born with ABS, but can get it when they already suffer from another intestine-related condition. Cheap date then. Don't bother with the vodkas. Straight to a kebab and you're stumbling like wearing flip-flops whilst running. Now if only I could give myself some sort of auto-rehypnol syndrome. I've got some stuff I need to forget. A 9-year-old self-proclaimed seagull boy wins the European Screeching Championship. According to UPI, a boy from Derbyshire in England, Cooper Wallace, aka Seagull Boy, wore full seagull regalia when he showed off his skills at the European Championship gull screeching event in Dieppe, Belgium. Apparently Wallace took up the art of gull screeching after being nipped by a seagull during a trip to the beach. He said, "I just wanted to make the noise to remember I got pecked by one. But I like seagulls," he told the Times of London. He further said, "I feel like they're a really nice animal and I like them because of their noise. Sometimes they can be a bit scary and I'm still a bit wary of eating at the beach, so that's why I eat in a small tent." Apparently the judges analysed each contestant by criteria including the calls themselves, the competitor's seagull appearance, and their ability to emulate seabird behaviour, which Wallace showed off by pecking at his sister's chips. Cool now, but I feel like this is the exact moment of time that'll be the starting point for some pretty expensive therapy. And I've only just got over my close with words like radical phase. My gran used to say I look cool, but deep down we both knew she was lying. Spain has accidentally released a drug lord from prison who planned to kill the heir to the Dutch throne. According to Politico, a notorious cartel boss who reportedly planned to murder the heir to the Dutch throne and Prime Minister Mark Rutte has escaped prison due to a judicial mix-up in Spain. Mocro Mafia leader Karim Bouyakrishtian was arrested in Marbella last January in a major operation that concluded a 5-year money laundering investigation. And upon learning that he'd been nicked, Dutch authorities filed an extradition request with Spain's National Court, asking that the gang leader be sent back to the Netherlands to face charges related to his drug trafficking empire. But when his money laundering case came up for initial hearing, the presiding judge agreed to release the gang chief on bail of €50,000. Bouyakrishtian, a billionaire who possessed bank accounts and properties around the world, promptly paid cash and skipped town. Authorities haven't seen him since. Well played, Spain. An absolutely unbelievably naive decision right there. What would you do if you had Gary Glitter banged up in the cells? Send him for community service at a primary school? £134,000 worth of Kinder Buenos have been stolen from a Skelmersdale industrial estate. According to the BBC, the theft took place on the Joe Brand's industrial estate, Skelmersdale, at about 3 o'clock on the 17th of March. Police said a lorry entered a business premises and hooked up a trailer containing the chocolate bars before making off. And Skelmersdale police said it was a significant commercial theft. The force believed that the lorry was taken to Simmonswood in Kirkby, Merseyside, where the stolen goods were loaded onto another vehicle. The stolen trailer has since been recovered. Police Constable Holly Bennett of Skelmersdale Police urged anyone who'd seen anything suspicious, either in the area or around the industrial estate, or the area where the load had been transferred or the trailer had been abandoned, to get in touch. Now this is the sort of crime I can get behind, but I have some concerns. How do you even move on that sort of merchandise? People are going to notice if you're going door to door selling Buenos. Although I wouldn't ask any questions if you came to my door. Obvious wink. Hospital staff are pleading with snakebite victims not to bring the snake that bit them to the hospital. According to ABC News, in Queensland's Wide Bay region, doctors have come face to face with some of the world's most venomous snakes, which have been captured by patients believing it'll help with identification and treatment. And in one case earlier this month, emergency staff at Bundaberg Hospital were handed a plastic food container with a small eastern brown snake inside, peering back at them. This incident has prompted the hospital's Director of Emergency Medicine, Adam Michael, to warn patients to leave snakes alone. He said, "We honestly don't want people interacting with snakes any more than they already have, and any attempts to either get close to a snake to catch or kill, or to photograph the snake, just puts people at risk." And Dr. Michael further went on to say, "We can determine if you need antivenom, and if so, what antivenom you need based on clinical signs, blood tests, and also snake venom detection kits that we keep here at the hospital. We're actually not trained to identify snakes, and so it's not helpful." Who'd have thought that emergency rooms aren't equipped to handle dangerous venomous snakes? Whenever I go to the local quack shop, I'm often confronted with Steve Irwin types, fighting a bear or something. Maybe just immediately get to hospital. A fashion designer has been jailed for smuggling crocodile skin bags into the US for New York Fashion Week. According to RTL News, a leading fashion designer whose accessories were used by celebrities including Britney Spears and the cast of Sex and the City, whoop whoop, has been sentenced to 18 months in prison for smuggling crocodile handbags from her native Colombia. According to The Guardian, Nancy Gonzalez recruited couriers for many years to smuggle the bags, made of crocodile skin and pythons, onto commercial flights from Colombia to the US. The bags were then delivered to luxury showrooms and fashion events in New York, and this entire operation was in complete violation of US law. Nancy Gonzalez was arrested in Colombia in 2022 and later extradited to the US, where she pled guilty in a Miami federal court. And Gonzalez said in a court speech before she was sentenced that she regretted not complying with US laws, and prosecutors estimate that she smuggled goods worth at least $2 million in the US. And in a completely made-up statement from one of the people who bought these bags, they said, "The bag was great and it really turned heads. And after adding it to my outfit, you could say I became a snappy dresser." North Korean animators may have worked on Amazon cartoons without Amazon's knowledge. According to CNN, North Korean illustrators and graphic designers appear to have helped produce work for US animation studios, unbeknownst to those companies, suggesting that unreleased episodes of a few popular American cartoons could include work from one of the most closed-off economies. This revelation comes from a trove of documents recently discovered by US researchers inside a computer server housed in North Korea. But researchers who analysed the documents told CNN they appear to be the result of work that was unknowingly outsourced to North Korean workers. And this is because the US has imposed strict restrictions on prohibiting American companies from doing any business with the nuclear-armed regime. And in addition to drawings for an upcoming season of the Amazon Prime Video show Invincible, the files also contain sketches and videos that resemble work for Ianu Child of Wonder, a superhero series slated to air on Max, the streaming service that, along with CNN, is owned by Warner Bros. Discovery. But there is no evidence that the studios had any knowledge that their proprietary work was on a North Korean server. It's not like Amazon to exploit cheap Asian labour now, is it? But to be fair to them, short of each animation having "Long Live Kim Jong-un" written on it, how would you even know? A snake on a train delays a Japanese bullet train service. According to Yahoo, a passenger alerted security to a 40cm serpent lurking on a train between Nagoya and Tokyo, resulting in a 17-minute hold-up. It's not known whether the cold-blooded commuter was venomous or how it ended up on the train, and there is no injury or panic amongst the passengers. A spokesman for Central Japanese Railway said, according to the Shinkansen operation policy, customers can bring small dogs, cats and other animals including pigeons on board, but not snakes. And a spokesperson said, "It's difficult to imagine wild snakes somehow climbing onto a train at one of the stations. We also have rules against bringing snakes onto the Shinkansen, but we don't check passengers' baggage. I suppose there's less jeopardy on a train than a plane, given that you can just stop and open the doors. Unless it's a speed-style mashup where the train can't go under 88 miles an hour, and the snakes just plain don't like the commuters. Hollywood, get in touch on the email in the description below." A Japanese town has erected a giant privacy screen to stop tourists taking pictures of Mount Fuji. According to NOS, the construction of a net 2.5 meters high and 20 meters long will start next week, and this should keep tourists out of the vicinity of a Lawson's supermarket. Apparently this viewpoint is particularly popular because it combines two typical Japanese symbols, a branch of the well-known Lawson's supermarket chain, and of course, Mount Fuji. But a local official said the measure is necessary. They said, "It's unfortunate that we have to do this because some tourists do not respect the rules by leaving litter behind or ignoring traffic rules. This is mainly foreign tourists who crowd the narrow sidewalk in front of the shop and are often deaf to repeated warnings from traffic police. They sometimes park at a dental clinic without permission and climb onto the roof to take the perfect photo. My local town erected a privacy screen once, but to be fair, my blinds were only broken temporarily. Did hurt my ego a bit when all those cats started committing suicide, and birds still won't go near the shed to this day." A North Texas man is suing a cinema chain after complaining that their 24-ounce cups can't hold 24 ounces. According to Fox 4, Waldrop went to the Cinemark in Grapevine and purchased a 20-ounce and a 24-ounce draft beer. He noticed that the 24-ounce cup did not appear to be big enough to hold 4 more ounces of liquid, and using a bit of science, he took the empty container home and measured how much it could hold, discovering it only held 22 ounces. Waldrop and his legal team says that the movie theatre chain is taking part in deceptive and otherwise improper business practices that violate state and federal laws about misbranding. The lawsuit further read, "This is especially misleading because the 24-ounce drink should provide a deal for consumers over the 20-ounce drink's price, which is 0.37 cents per ounce versus 0.39 cents per ounce. But due to the actual volume of the 22-ounce available in the 24-ounce drink, the price is 40 cents per ounce, making the larger drink more expensive per ounce, which is not a deal at all." The lawsuit also says that Waldrop brought the suit for himself and all other persons nationwide. Finally, an American lawsuit that makes sense. It's like when you go to Prague and the beer doesn't go all the way up because they've decided to pour a foot of foam instead. "Oh right, yeah, I fancied an ice cream when I walked into this establishment." The head of Visa has announced that Visa cards will be the only bank cards usable on Paris 2024 Olympic sites. According to Actu.fr, in an interview with L'Equipe on the 6th of March, Charlotte Hogg, the General Director of Visa Europe, announced that her company will provide all payment services for the Olympic and Paralympic Games. But if you have a MasterCard, you'll have to buy a prepaid Visa card at each competition site. A quote from Charlotte said, "Once you've got your prepaid card, you can pay physically with your phone or use it for any e-commerce like with any card. And if you don't fancy that, it will always be possible to pay cash on site. And this system will be valid on the 15 competition sites located throughout France." Visa is currently deploying 4,500 payment terminals for the event, and there'll also be around 60 ticket machines at all sites. I feel like there should be some sort of anti-monopoly laws about this. I mean, especially in France. They'll start a revolution if someone makes a baguette in the incorrect manner. Watch out, Visa. You might be getting an appointment from Madame Guillotine. British farmers are using Lynx body spray to stop rams from fighting. According to UPI, Sam Bryce, who raises sheep on the Norfolk-Suffolk border in England, said it was other farmers on the Facebook group Ladies Who Lamb who told her the Africa variety of the body spray, known as Lynx in Britain, or Axe for the former colonies, masks the hormones that cause the rams to become aggressive towards one another. Bryce told the Wall Street Journal that since she started using the heavily perfumed body spray on animals, there's no argy-bargy. Apparently some other farmers said that the body spray is good for more than just keeping rams calm. Suffolk shepherdess Caitlin Jenkins said she uses the same variety to convince mother sheep to adopt abandoned lambs. She said, "Ewes identify their babies by smell, and by using the body spray, it confuses them into thinking the lambs belong to them." And she said, "I always go for Lynx Africa because it has a very distinctive strong smell, and that the ones that don't smell as strong have less chance of working." Lynx Africa, mate, the archetypal smell of a high school changing room. On a side note, did anyone else hear the rumour that you could knock off your own nipple if you sprayed it with Lynx? By the way, don't try that at home just in case it's true. British holidaymakers drank an entire 737 dry of alcohol within 25 minutes. According to the Daily Mail, the Turkish-German airline Sun Express was left stunned after every drop of beer and wine had been downed as they carted golfers off on a holiday. This came when CEO Max Kawanatsky told TTG that British tourists are more high-spend and more hedonistic. He further said, "We sold out of beer and wine 25 minutes after departure. We haven't done that in any other market." According to the article, Brits reacted to the news with pride after realising the crowd of golfers had beaten every other country with their impressive alcohol consumption. Look at these tweets. At KTPY10 said, "I'm just surprised it took them 25 minutes. And at Films Radar said, "Makes you proud to be British." But Philip Lawler said, "Never understood getting wellied at the airport or on the plane. Save your energy for the destination." And another miserable git said, "Banning alcohol on flights is a must." I think it's quite impressive, to be honest, especially given plane prices. But to be fair, whenever I get on a plane, all pricing logic goes out the window. €8 for a bag of M&Ms, merci beaucoup. 12 quid for a sandwich, gracias. And who doesn't love a Ryanair scratch card? Oh look, Mum, I've won the right to use the toilet on the way back. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you do so fancy. Also, if you think there's any news that we might have missed, please get in contact on the email in the description below. See you next time for another jam-packed news you might have missed. Stay gravy.